Okay. Looks like I'm live. Maybe. Appears that way. Little bit of lag. Alright, it appears I saved. still trying to figure this out. So, stop in. Please feel free to say hi and chat. That way I know you're around and can interact. I think where I left off, I was supposed to report to the kid. Hello to you watching. Thank you for stopping by. Hopefully you can hear my voice. How are my levels? Turned on the stream and it sounds like my voice is a little low. Should be able to help. Oh man, just started and it's already regicide. Plus the dead guy doesn't have anything in his bed. Seems like I need to bring a princess to a coronation. Looks like I get to retaliate. Man, those have some distance. Good lord, that's a lot of enemies. Get by a giant bat. Joy. Wonder if my archer friend does additional damage to these bats. I know in some situations, flying enemies take extra damage to projectiles. It's worth thinking about. Nope. Man, I'm not gonna lose my dude. This is gnarly. Yeah, this fair's gonna get out of that jam without either of my attackers dying. Ah, man. That's 2 of them down. And that's 3. Like my healer is gonna eat it. Or my mage rather. That's getting expensive. Ooh, my mage is gonna eat it. Actually, I'm gonna chill a little and back her up. Because if I have to get hit by, if I do 7 damage, might as well kill one. Then take 1 hit. I get the one that's healed. Okay. Appear to have done an adequate amount of goading. Impressive. Bats too well. Let's see bapping.
She's gone. She's been so busy being purchasing and training to do everything. So this is our first step. We're training her to do my best.
Well, ahoy to the one who just jumped in. How's it going? Interesting. Oh, good to know we have a dip option. If you're here to stick around, please say hi in the chat, so I know you're around. Sun looks great. Ahoy, Dennis. I guess I have to. I have to pay for my own healing. The shop. Sounds like I got a Discord call.
Oh, this is weird. I hear the ringing of a call. I don't see it ringing.
Yes.
Oh, that's the ring. Okay, that was. Sorry, I didn't realize that was coming from your video. Whoops.
Yep.
Anywho, also sorry for not responding to you last night. I didn't realize you messaged me for a link to the show last night.
What's that now?
I just saw in the chat that you messaged me yesterday when we were on Sneed stream. I didn't realize that you messaged me.
These things happen.
I keep my Discord kind of muted on notifications. But anywho, this game looks interesting. What is your topic of today?
I haven't come up with one. You're the first one to mention anything. But if you feel like talking about anything, I do have a nit I could easily pick.
A nit?
Yeah, like a minor detail that I think could improve things when writing standards that is often overlooked.
Sure, let's hear it.
So, I mentioned in the that scripted video I uploaded that the IPsec in IPv6 mobility says it is to use a SHA-1 hash to encrypt traffic or to encrypt the payload, rather. And if people are not aware, SHA-1 has issues with hash collisions, as mentioned in the video as well. That type of issue with causing a hash collision, well, not with causing a hash collision, but picking a standard for data anything. Picking a standard to use and go by when it comes to algorithms that can be defeated. There's an issue with just saying, oh, we'll use I don't know, MD5 hashing, or create a zip file and send it out without any encryption because that's what we can expect the data to perform. I've been nipped with things like that. Does that make sense? Basically...
That makes perfect sense. No, sorry, I had myself muted because I didn't want to be vaping into your ear. Also, I was checking an email, a very exciting email. A very, very exciting email. I'm very happy I just got this email. You would know what it is because we talked about it before.
Yes.
Yeah. So
I've already unplugged the dang thing.
Let's see, schedule that for... Today's the 15th, so that'd be tomorrow the 16th. So yeah, let's do 10:30.
So...
That's my calendar.
I've encountered, like, via telemetry data for an Australian government body and research involving research I've done in the past, where they say, express in the standard how the data should be handled, and then transmitted. In their standard, they say use a method that was cryptographically secure when they wrote the thing, but over time, it was defeated. I mean, to me, your favorite protocol, Dennis, DAS4, or not DAS4, DOCSIS 4.
Mm-hmm.
If you wrote that out in a certain way, you'd never need DOCSIS 5.
That's fair.
And you'd never encounter a situation where, for whatever reason, based on the standard, you would need to even make a revision to it. By setting a minimum latency requirement for traffic, and say, using these techniques, we can get such and such, we can find ourselves encountering packets being delivered with a given amount of latency, and over time, using a better known technique, that the latency may decrease. You could encounter issues with a minimum throughput. You state that this guarantees the minimum throughput, but over time, when techniques improve, the throughput can be improved. The way I write using predefined algorithms in anything I write up,
I'm listening.
I say using such and such an algorithm, or the best iteration or anything that supersedes it. And then I could technically throw in caveats saying, "Hey baby Yoda, yep, I'm continuing Shining Force. Apparently I can repeat these battles ad nauseum by using the egress spell every time I mess up." So there's a downside for writing future compatibility into a spec, though.
And what is that downside exactly?
If you do not have ways of explicitly pointing out the algorithm within the data blob sent. So I construct a packet, send it over the network, and in my payload I say I want I say this will use SHA-1 as opposed to SHA-3. SHA-3 has a different output size than SHA-1. APIs might be written expecting exclusively the output size of SHA-1. So the way you avoid encountering issues like that is having a flag somewhere in the data packet for adjusting versions of specific formats. Does that make sense?
Yes. Hey Pete, changing topics a little bit really quickly. I want to talk about RCS specifically.
Let's do it.
Alright, cool. So, alright. What are, in your opinion, what are the 3 biggest roadblocks that have been preventing RCS from being widely adopted as the new de facto messaging standard?
The first thing I can think of is there are a bunch of possible messaging clients you can use on Android. You can use, Google Messages, Samsung Messages, both of which have RCS built in. But you can also use things like Signal, WeChat, and things like that. So
yeah, but even in the example of something like Signal, for example, when you message someone that isn't on Signal, it sends it the fallback as SMS. Couldn't Signal easily implement RCS as being the fallback, or wouldn't that make no sense?
It would, but that gets to what I'm getting at. You need the app developers to set it up for RCS, and then have another fallback option to send it over SMS. because as good as RCS is, it still requires a specific version of Android, a specific amount of bandwidth, and a few other criteria for it to work. Like, I know when I initially set up RCS on my Android, I needed to validate the number with the carrier and the RCS client to ensure that I could actively use RCS on my phone. So I'm spitballing off the top of my head here. I think the first step would be a OS, like an Android OS API, where the phone attempts to create RCS just with a simple command. Create an RCS chat with a simple kernel command or OS command, and then have the operating system itself try to establish RCS, and then fall back on SMS if it doesn't work.
Alright.
So
what's the second? Oh, sorry.
So basically, it falls on Google.
Gotcha. What's the second big roadblock? So one is the fact that there's alternative messaging platforms. What's the second big roadblock?
Fragmentation, oddly enough. Because as I mentioned, there's a bit of versioning issues.
Yeah, I mean, the way I look at it, and this is the best analogy that I can make for it, is that RCS in its current implementation is very similar to like Linux or like Chromium, where the root of things is like vanilla ice cream, but then the different distros or the different companies are adding their own flavorings on top. But at the end of the day, all these versions should, to some degree, have some basic commonalities that work across the board. I mean, for example, just because Company A adds encryption for one-to-one chats and Company B does not, it should still be able to default to the other RCS feature set, shouldn't it?
Yeah. But what I'm getting at is, and by the way, this is completely doable with Project Mainline, is there needs to be an OS call to handle messaging. I mean, in iOS, since Messages is maintained by Apple, you have Messages being the message handoff and the bubble colors like white and whatnot, or blue, green, and as I said last night, give me brown for RCS. That's all handled by the operating system, and the app facilitates the transmission. To my knowledge, and I could be completely wrong, but this is a limitation of closed source versus open source software. The iCloud integration of iOS is what determines if the bubble is green or blue. So what I'm getting at is the biggest hurdle is Android itself.
That's unfortunate. Well, for the sake argument,
it's an easy fix if Android is willing, if Google is willing to implement it into Android.
for the sake of argument, let's just assume that Google does implement that into Android as a base, right?
Yeah.
How do we get to the point where that forces everybody else to play nicely? And by that, I mean this. So like right now, T-Mobile is using Google's version of RCS, right? But then Verizon and AT&T, they're kind of doing their own things, especially AT&T. They have some form of like advanced messaging, but it's not RCS. It's something else. I don't know what it is, but
Yeah.
how do we get the carrier?
I actually had somebody ask me to look at that for their phone. Apparently, there's a phone wall and a paywall to that feature too.
Yes, you have to have a specific phone, and you have to be on updated plans. Yes.
Oh, it's not even the updated plans. If you're in a older plan, good afternoon, MS. If you're in an older plan with AT&T, there's a $5 upcharge.
Right. That's why it needs to be on an updated plan to get it for included. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, so they're the only company that has advanced messaging behind a paywall.
Yes.
Aside from, the obvious payroll wall. What your
Right.
phone can support.
Right.
But, in my opinion, if the phone can support it, it should just be there.
Ah, you're not thinking like a corporation, Pete.
No, I'm not thinking like AT&T.
You don't get my socialist humor.
Hey, I know the corporation has one job and one job only. To extort value out of the worker and product.
And maximize profits.
Yeah. You do that by extorting value. So, how are you doing today, MS? So, you could actually mitigate the AT&T advanced messaging by having RCS being handled by Android.
You can work around that by having it handled by Android. It wouldn't require the carrier to do anything at all.
In theory, yeah. All that would have to occur on AT&T is you being able to install Google Messages on the phone, which they do not have a method of locking out, and you're good.
Also, Pete, I sent you a picture for a future thing we can discuss here in a moment. But what about when it comes to forcing Apple to play ball? Is there anything that can be done? Like, do we just have to basically wait until SMS gets shut down for Apple to play ball?
That's a good question. How do we get Apple in it? The carrier's saying you got two options. Okay? Two really simple options. You let people use the RCS chat because we're no longer supporting SMS. Or, such and such features will no longer work with your phone. Text messaging, verification, things like that. Hit Apple where it hurts. Say that they can no longer register eSIMs for customer experience on their device And then customers would hopefully have to, vote with their wallet.
We'll just stop selling iPhones.
Yeah, it's like we could Hey, if the EU could force them to stop taking 30% transaction fees, they may stop selling iPhones in the EU. No, seriously.
Well, changing gears onto something that's not normally in your wheelhouse, but I thought you'd be excited to see as someone that has a fantastic T-Mobile experience out in Longmont. I sent you a pic of Mint Mobile, specifically Target, doing an insane deal on Mint. Did you see the picture?
3 months. Plus
Not just 3 months. It's 67% off it. Instead of paying the $45, it's only $13.50.
Man.
And that's for 6 months. And that's for 6 months of service, Pete.
Nice.
$13.50.
Damn good deal.
And $27 for the unlimited. Unminted. Hey, Pete, tell me something, man.
Nice. Hold up.
Pete, okay.
Just trying to get some things done until Los Mobile comes back. Am I wrong, or don't we still need SMS to try and get through in emergency situations? I mean, SMS could be a fallback, but if we get rid of legacy features on the phone and have it set so they only use RCS, the requirement for SMS to work in emergency situations is superseded by the fact that RCS just works. And yes, the what is it, like $16 for 6 months is a killer deal.
So, Pete, let me ask you something. As someone that has a phenomenal experience with T-Mobile out in Longmont, can you tell me why you actually stick with T-Mobile postpaid and don't go with something that's way more affordable, like the Mint option? Or like an MVNO, I should say.
It's because I have 13 lines, and with the Mint option with the features, I'd actually be losing some options, and I'm only, compared to that rate, compared to their standard rate, I'm only paying like $1 extra a month. So, I mean, if I only had one line, I'd probably be on an MVNO. But I'm managing multiple lines and paying for multiple lines.
Gotcha. If you don't mind sharing, how much are you paying for your 13 lines?
Not getting into that.
No worries. That's why I preface it by saying if you don't mind sharing.
It's a business rate, and I pay a business price for it.
That's fine. That's why I preface it the way that I did.
Yep.
But, oh, Pete,
what?
do you want to hear what I was doing a little bit last night after we got done with the show with Sneed?
Let's see, you were not eating chocolate or covered strawberries or grapes, so what were you doing?
So after I got done with the show, I got bored, and started doing some mental calculations on how much it would cost for one carrier to basically copy paste an LA level deployment into across the nation at the rest of the football stadiums and everything else.
Yeah.
And based off my math, it would roughly
like
take
3 billion.
What's up?
Was that like 3 billion?
What for
Deployment. You got, was it like 30 foosball teams and...
No.
Oh.
Based off my math, it would take $150 billion for one carrier.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Why is that?
Well, Verizon had to invest $125 million just in the LA stadium like area alone.
Yeah.
Right? So basically I took that number and just basically started multiplying it by the amount of football stadiums that are in the US, specifically NFL stadiums.
How many NFL stadiums are there?
Sure. Give me 1 second. There are 30 NFL stadiums in the US.
Yeah.
And then outside the NFL stadiums, I also looked at basically major collegiate stadiums, so colleges that are like Penn State, Michigan, that kind of thing, you know, really big venues.
As we said, those were kind of different.
They're different, but I would argue that they also need a good amount of capacity, like the NFL stadiums.
Talk to your board so you can get them going.
I'm just saying that if the carriers wanted to have that level of capacity in the places that could use that type of capacity, it would require a carrier would require to invest $150 billion.
How many college foosball stadiums we got?
Well, too many. I'm just looking at major colleges.
How many major college foosball stadiums?
Sure. So, college stadiums that hold basically the same level of people as like the NFL, essentially, like similar, comparable size. Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd be talking. An additional, basically 60.
Okay, so that's 90.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. That is comparable. That is literally like at the size of the stadium in question in LA or larger. Basically.
Okay, so that's you know, if we go T-Mobile level alone, which apparently I read that they use more bandwidth than the Verzini. They only dropped 100 million. So that,
I'm just saying right now with that little bit, that's
Yeah.
11 billion 250 million that we're at right now from a numerical value, and this is just the stadiums.
Yep.
This is not including any surrounding costs like the airports that you talked about or anything else. This is just
Or the bribes.
for the bribes.
You gotta remember, you need bribes.
Or I'm sorry, excuse me. Did I say 11 billion? Did I say 11 billion? Sorry.
Yeah.
110 billion 250 million. Excuse me. That's better.
It's a lot. And as you said, that doesn't include the bribes.
Yeah, that's not including the surrounding parts, like, for example, i.e., like, let's just take Pittsburgh as an example real quick. If you're gonna take the time to do Heinz Field, you're literally so close to, like, the baseball stadium, PNC Park, that you probably take the time to invest in covering that as well, considering that they're, like, right up against each other.
Oh, yeah.
It's literally, just to put perspective, the amount of money it would take is the amount of money that Verizon has spent over the course of deploying their whole entire network over the past, like, 20 years.
Real quick,
So-
MS is saying in chat that he's found a noticeable change in Maine with the N77 deployment. Looks like visible improving on the downlink threefold and the uplink 30-something fold. It's good stuff.
Yeah, but Pete, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because it's going to be significantly more expensive to add density and capacity than it was to actually expand coverage.
It is significantly more expensive for density and capacity.
So, with those facts being on the table, and that being said, realistically speaking, can you see 5G ever becoming quote-unquote real like RFK would have it?
Well, there's something you need to think about with that. Do universities really need to get the NFL treatment if they can, have 276,000 people in a super spreader event just piling into the arena?
I honestly feel like if money is going to be spent, it makes more sense to cover a campus like Penn State than it does LA.
So, one thing to consider, most of the people going to those games do have access to the university Wi-Fi, and it would be cheaper for the university to set up a Wi-Fi 6 and 6E node for people with, strong Wi-Fi 5 than it would be for them to go through the requirements to set up all the cellular equipment and help the carriers lobby for growth permits.
You're not wrong about what you're saying, Pete. But that being said, I can tell you right now that there is plenty of times where that type of deployment strategy doesn't necessarily work, and there are going to inherently be flaws that stem from Wi-Fi.
Oh, there are, but the idea, at least with the Wi-Fi guy at the university I attended, his logic was get the Wi-Fi good enough so the meager amount of cellular that can be utilized on the field can be maximized. So
Yeah.
So MS, you're saying your LTE went up threefold and 30-fold. You're not even on the N77? Man, they must be really investing in Maine.
Also, MS, I'm just going to tell you right now that is not even close to being the maximum throughput that can be achieved in LTE. Just saying.
I mean, look at what AT&T does with their network. They went
I kid you, I kid you not. This is not an exaggeration, but gigabit speeds were already a possibility over LTE.
Yep, that's listed in release 14. 1.4 gig is the theoretical cap at the moment.
And real world was gig. Realistically, real world was gig.
So we might have to wait until AT&T gets that deployed before we start them working on their 5G.
Anyway, going back to the genesis of things, though, do you see 5G becoming real, and I'm using quotation marks that you can't see with my fingers, as RFK would put it, based off the fact of how expensive it'll be to actually add the density and capacity necessary?
So, the way I see it is, we'll have pockets of, capacity and capacity rich and density rich 5G. And then we'll have pockets of LTE. Bog standard LTE. Much like some areas, we had connectivity over 3G to supplement the LTE footprint. And within, 5 to 10 years, the density will be, the capacity and density requirements will be sufficient, at least based on the population, at least within a critical population center. Does that make sense?
Somewhat. So you're saying LTE will still be around for forever, basically?
Hey, we still have CDMA 3G until July. And that's about my age. Thanks, Boost. And man, MS, you are getting your money, more than your money's worth out of Visible.
On a totally unrelated side note, can I just say something really quickly that I find funny?
Sure.
So you know how in the Ubiquiti Dream Machine Pro you can look at the client devices that are connected to your network?
Not firsthand, but I'd be surprised if it didn't have that feature.
Well, the reason why I'm asking is because, hilariously enough, one of the things that I have connected in my living room, it thinks that it's a Linux computer running Red Hat.
What device is it?
It is, if I have to, I think, if it's what I think it is, I believe it is my smart,
Toaster?
What up?
Toaster?
No. What is the, I'm trying to think of what you call it. What's the thing that you plug in to get, like, surround sound to happen?
Receiver?
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah,
Audio
I guess that's
receiver?
yeah, I guess that would be the word for it. Yeah, I think it's my audio receiver.
Interesting.
It thinks it's running Linux Red Hat.
Do you have a cable
It's
box
not.
plugged in?
It's not, by the way. No, I don't have any cable TV boxes.
Because I know
Any-
those run Fedora.
Yeah, no, I don't have any cable TV boxes, and even if I did, I wouldn't have it plugged into the FiOS internet.
But yeah, those cable boxes run Fedora. So
Did not know that. What's really insane is I have 6 phones connected to my Wi-Fi.
said your receiver is showing. What audio receiver do you have?
I don't know the model off the top of my head, but
What brand?
I know it's not running Linux. I know it's running Android, I believe.
Android, up-to-date Android can masquerade as Linux, by the way. I know way more than my money's worth. I just want something with unlimited hotspot, 750 gigs a month, no T-Mobile rights. So, MS, you're using your Visible line as your internet as well?
Sounds like it.
Hey, Sneak tried that, and sometimes that was the only way you could stream the podcast.
Well, the good news is I think they silently raised the speed from 5 to 10 megabits per second on the hotspot.
Good.
Unpopular opinion, but I think fixed wireless access is like actually one of the dumbest things right now that the carriers can be doing.
One thing you have to realize with the fixed wireless is it's at a much lower priority than mobile data, so all mobile data preempts it. They're basically selling their slag spectrum not actively being used for.
I comprehend that. I comprehend that.
That's the only like real. Yeah, this is a smart thing to do. I can see with the fixed wireless.
Listen, I can comprehend that. That's not the reason why I think it's dumb. The reason why I think it's dumb is because it's offering an inferior. So, as you put it, they're selling their excess capacity essentially.
Yep.
Because of that, it's going to offer an inferior home internet use case experience than what a person can get on their on-device usage if they have like a proper postpaid plan on the phone. And then that is also going to be inferior to any, with the exception of DSL, any wired solution, so fiber or cable.
Yeah.
And if they're going to take the time to invest in, like, you know, the hardware and the firmware support and everything else, I'm a big proponent of rather seeing that money go into expanding actual, like, good, you know, long-term solutions. Like, I'm going to give you an example real quick. Everyone has their hats all rallied up for Verizon's fixed wireless 5G home internet product, right?
Yeah.
But Verizon has been in the home internet game now for, what, 20, 30 years? Maybe more, right?
Hey, I got my first dial-up line through Bell Atlantic. So.
Point being is Verizon's been in this game for a long time, and Fios has been around since like 2008. So like another 13 years right there where they could have been deploying fiber and they did nothing. I just don't see Verizon, like, I see Verizon basically deploying fixed wireless in places where they're going to deploy their C-band, but I don't necessarily actually see them covering the actual true rural Americans, so those people are still going to be left out of the party. They might get LTE home internet, but they're still left out of the party.
Yep.
And then for the places where they're going to sell that fixed wireless, a lot of those places are going to have cable internet, which you can agree to disagree with me, but I don't see a reason why you would not pick cable internet over a fixed wireless solution.
Depends on how bad your relationship is with them.
I mean, I'm remove emotions out of the equation entirely. Just look at it from a performance and technology.
You cannot remove emotions. If you remember talking with some of the analytics Roger Etner did, he found some of the impetus for moving, which is also the impetus for deployment of fixed wireless, was oh look, a new ISP that I'm not currently pissed off with.
I understand that
So
humans
you
are
cannot
irrational.
decouple the emotion from the plan.
Listen, I understand that humans are irrational creatures that like to think they're rational. I understand and comprehend that. But for the sake of this conversation, I'm saying remove the emotion out of the equation. Because here's the thing. I, Dennis, hate Verizon. I'm very open and candid about that, yes?
Yeah.
Good. Yet I, Dennis, still got Fios' home internet. Why? Because fiber, even shit fiber, is still better than cable.
Yep.
Generally speaking. Generally speaking. Like, even when my uptime was absolute ass and you heard me crying and bitching like a little boy, like, the fact that I had higher upload speeds than the low teens was fantastic, right?
Oh yeah.
I hate Verizon. I don't enjoy giving them my money, but I'm not going to look at fiber and be an idiot and be like, ah, yes, fixed wireless is totally going to be my answer. T-Mobile home internet, come on in. Like,
Well,
you get what I'm saying?
T-Mobile home internet is a good option if there's coverage. By the way, MS chimed in with saying that he is indeed using the hotspot for home internet.
Oh, hold up. I got Carlos calling me. 1 sec, man.
So MS, does the VDSL2 offer speeds greater than 5 or 10? We went from analog and clear con to digital cable. The number of people who got cable dropped in about half. Like, we talking, when you say cable, are we talking about, home entertainment cable? There were a number of people when it came to, like, Comcast cable, that when the transition occurred, they didn't want anything to do with it due to fears of it not working with their old TV. So they just gave up using TV. Or, there's a situation where they're like, oh, it's cable, I don't, wasn't really using it, and maybe they used it as an excuse to, just pull off the bandage. See. Yes, DSL2 was great, but when I canceled it to go with a cellular option last year. How much were you getting with your VDSL2? Was the trade-off worth it? To go from a visible to go from VDSL2 Plus to a visible hotspot. Also, what's going on with your most mobile thing? Man, that's some good connection. I've never encountered that with a phone line. Well, Visible isn't a new NVNO, it's Verizon repackaging its service under a different name and doing different plan allotments. So, what's going on with your Los Mobile stuff? Ooh, I didn't know this was an option. Ah. So, what's going on with Los Mobile since Dennis is talking to Los? At some point, I hope they get back to using AT&T. I mean, AT&T isn't around me. AT&T is not as amazing as T-Mobile or Verizon, but the unlimited hotspot's spot on. So, you know, if, I don't know how you do 65 terabytes on a plan. Like, it just baffles me that much data is usable by one person. Yes, I am, Baby Yoda. I'm a somewhat heavy internet user, and for personal business, for personal stuff, I don't use that much data. And my combined household usage based on my router is less than, 5 tera. So, Baby Yoda, I'm learning some ropes. I've been repeating a couple battles by using protagonist's ingress spell due to failing to keep people alive, so. But yeah, I wouldn't use a mobile hotspot for a bunch of things. I use my fiber connection for. Simply because some of the stuff I use the fiber connection for, I just use it because I have true unlimited. I am curious, Baby Yoda, if you remember. MP seems to be the limiting factor for mages. Is the only way to up it, level them up? I also haven't figured out how to use search correctly. Maybe this chest will do it. I guess search just opens chests. Oh. Good. Text message. So you need to use MP to live in one or since their specialties. So I have a subscription name. Shining Force? So, I'm actually playing this on the Sega Genesis Classics, which I picked up for $40 on the Switch. But if you're a subscriber of the Nintendo Switch Online expansion pass, this game's included. So, it's kind of a subscription and it's kind of not. I basically pay like an extra $15 a year to be able to play this on the online version. But I'd prefer to use a quote-unquote physical game than, use an online service. Wait, this is for free on the App Store? Man. feel like a sucker paying for this then. Oh well. At some point, I'm probably going to be playing Phantasy Star 4 on this, so guess it's worth the cost of play it for free with ads. Wow, a retro game with ads. Sounds impressive. Is it like ads between the fights? Wow. I don't think you can push a 64-bit processor like games did. I know most of the time, so games these days are programmed in like C or something, and then compiled for the platform they're supposed to be running on. For these old school processors, the games were written in assembly for the processors, because the likelihood of you being able to port them to another system were low. I know games that were for both the Genesis and Super Nintendo typically there were two companies developing the games. And, they were given asset packs from the developers. I rather enjoy coding in assembly, cause if I'm not coding in assembly, I might encounter an issue where I'm using the wrong type of variable to store my data in. I mean, I like strictly forcing the program, any program I write, to what's the word for it? I like forcing the programs I write to run in a particular way. So if I can't determine what type of variable I'm storing, which is something that bugs me with Python somewhat, I get a little annoyed. Like, if I'm writing something that could be a string, I like strong type languages, man. So, the main thing I use Python for is converting lists of serialized data to other formats. including binary. But I wouldn't use it for, like, coding anything else. I occasionally use Fortran. Because, you know, Fortran. So, about 3 months ago, I actually had an interesting argument with a, principal investigator for a project regarding the floating point precision within Fortran compared to C or Python. And you know, despite not being an actual computer programmer, knowing that my floating point values are correct is still something I like to do. So if Baby Yoda's still around, this situation's kind of weird. Am I seriously doing a map battle in town? Telstra called you when they released the Pentium 90. Bear in mind, in 1990 I was 2. I'm just cantankerous as a young boy. I also have a strong opinion of if for some reason, well, if I'm writing data, I want to be 100% sure how that data is represented in memory, so I can minimize the likelihood of a buffer overflow occurring, or some arbitrary code execution occurring in the code array. And I'm sure it's not Intel's fault that they cheaped out on the floating point processor in the Pentium 1 and Pentium 2. I mean, who used floating point in those days? Using CPUs common for DOS, floating point was represented by integer math as a divisor or crude base 2 division. Have fun with the look. I mean, if you wanna have a good floating point, you gotta get the metal for it. Nice one-shotting a bat with a non-main character. For those who don't know, I started programming an Apple script when I was 8, and just picked up stuff along the way. The C++ classes I took in university were kind of fun, but not something I'd write home about or pride myself in doing. Hey, it looks
Hey,
like...
Pete.
Well,
Hey, Pete. I'm gonna hop off this Discord call because I'm talking to Carlos still.
I'm surprised you didn't just disconnect at that point.
I just wanted to let you know.
Okay. Dennis scared the living daylights out of me there. Wouldn't mind helping the two of them with a little bit of unpaid work for Los Mobile. But, I shall see. If only I could figure out a way to get an incoming email parse and just set up all the information that they get that they need to set up an account with. And then just have it run automatically. I'm good at automation for one reason and one reason only. I'm so freaking lazy. And if I can use my meager coding skills to automate things, darn it, I will. The main question would be is if their systems have APIs so I could write a third-party client using externally loaded credentials to parse and insert. I will say one thing about this game, the heal animation takes forever to do. So this fast forward is a godsend. I'm having fun with it, so hopefully we're both falling for Baby Yoda's evil plan to get us all on board with playing Sega turn-based map RPGs. I must say, I always find, you know, the idea of converting a game to iOS kind of interesting. Because when I started playing games, I always had the controller as an input. So now as I continue playing games, the only way I can actually feel like I'm connecting to them is if I'm using my controller. Also, this music is pretty nice, all things considered. It's nothing that I'd rock out to, but, somewhat enjoying it. So, how's work going, Baby Yoda? You doing the correct amount of slacking? So, MS, what do you do for work? If you don't mind me asking. Because based on what you do for work, you can play during the periods where there's nothing going on. I mean, that's basically how I play. If I have nothing going on, I'm playing. If I have something that's more pressing, I'm not playing. By the way, did either of you get a chance to view the pay-per-view video I posted? No problem. I moved up here to manage security and website traffic for people are so nice and tech stuff. Stayed for 15 years now. Just doing tech stuff. Hey, that's part of what I do in my life. I'm looking for a job that can take advantage of the master's degree I got in December, but I'm paying the bills by managing website and website security and doing random odd jobs for people in the area. Man, I'm getting treasure from a shop. Search the dragon head to reveal a passage. Where the heck is this dragon head? Maybe down here. So you get your remote work done when you did over your 5 meg hotspot. Pretty cool passage. Electrical engineering. Hey. I'd like to get Lowe's Mobile AT&T back myself. People in my market ask me, you know, where I am, what's the best carrier I could be using. And without a good AT&T line, I can't tell them objectively what carrier they could get the most out of. So, which carrier up there is the least worse? But if was ruffled, I could help so many people up here. Wait, coverage goes to T-Mobile in Maine. Interesting. I did. Impressive. Actually, if they're, light users, like email and Facebook, no video streaming, they could probably go by on a Los Magenta with their with the meager hotspot offering there. Considering on dial-up, you're looking at quite a bit. Quite a low speed. So... Hey, if it's N71 and it's pretty good there, you're looking at faster than dial-up still. Unless you're talking about the VDSL 2 Plus. Even with, even with the visible line, even with the visible line, it's hitting better than the DSL I often encounter here when I'm working with people who unfortunately have DSL. I mean, if they could get fairly low latency at 10 megs a second down, that that would outdo what DSL offers here. I would love to be able to build these people a cheap Chinese hotspot with a SIM and an outside antenna. And as an electrical engineer, you'd probably have a slightly easier time doing that than I would. Yep. So, how's the weather in Maine? Yeah, the hard part would be the sim. Well, that weather sounds like the weather I have here. But you're closer to sea level. I'm at like 6,000 and change here. I rather like it. Got these people not, you get people not used to it becoming dehydrated sitting around. It's adorable. You're quite a bit more to the north than I am, so I guess erratic temperatures on a coastal climate, so to say, makes sense. It makes sense that they're like an elevated desert. The local store just crashed, so no credit cards until I get them back up. Oh god. Yeah. Chances are I'm only gonna be around for another minute or two, so not gonna be missing much. Thanks for hanging out with me. Stupid bridge. Wait. finally get out of that blockage. Oh yeah. Stupid bat. Interesting. really free from an error. Desert seems to impede movement. I should not have gone after the zombie. Right there. Well, gotta get up for the hill. So, gonna save and call it a night. Thanks to those who came by and watched, and glad I talked to a few of you. Have a good one.